You're listening to Four Things to Know, a WCCO daily news podcast.
Today is Tuesday, March 10th. I'm Johnny Connor. Thanks for listening to Four Things to Know. Let's get to our top story today. Minnesota's Department of Human Services could soon see a shakeup. The governor is laying out his proposal to transform the State Department at the Capitol. Barrett Leone is tracking that announcement.
This is a joint announcement from Governor Tim Walz and newly named DHS Commissioner Shireen Gandhi. And as we know, it comes amidst accusations of rampant fraud in programs administered by the agency and a deadline from the feds to fix it or risk losing millions in Medicaid funding. Some estimates show state program fraud in the billions. And according to the governor's office, the proposal is focused on strengthening program integrity and improving how services are delivered to Minnesotans. The governor and commissioner say it will transform the state's human service system by shifting eligibility determination from counties to the state in 2028.
Proposal's bold. It's a starting point for reimagining how we deliver human services. We look forward to partnering with the experts, both inside the agencies and the legislative leaders. The ultimate goal here is to get the resources to the people who need it to improve the quality of life, improve Minnesota.
Meanwhile, Democrat State Senator John Hoffman, the chair of the Senate Human Services Committee, told our newsroom he was, quote, disappointed to learn of the proposal last night without thorough conversation with the committee. He says changes to a system that impact so many here in Minnesota require thoughtful collaboration. Hoffman hopes the administration will engage directly with the legislature moving forward. Again, last month, the federal government decided to withhold $259 million in Minnesota Medicaid funding. The state now has less than 2 months to prove it's addressed these issues.
Number two, we're following something else happening at the state capitol today. It's called the People's Hearing on Immigration Enforcement. That hearing began at noon. It's scheduled to go until 5 o'clock today. This morning, there was a press conference to preview the hearing. They say the purpose is to document and preserve on-the-record testimony of what happened during Operation Metro Surge. Two Democratic representatives in the Minnesota House, Maria Perez Vega and Brad Tapke, say that operation is still not over.
Over the weekend, we have seen forces of ICE turn into bounty hunters in our local businesses' parking lots before workers and employees in school buses drive by our community centers where our kids are fearing to go back in person.
My community in Shakopee has been absolutely rocked by ICE, by Homeland Security. We have more ICE agents in our communities today than we had before Operation Metro Surge started. We have more ICE agents still here than were in Chicago the entire time that the surge was happening in Chicago.
One of the speakers at the hearing this afternoon will be an attorney representing the family of Renee Good. She was shot and killed by an ICE officer in Minneapolis back in January. Members of the public will also be able to share their experiences during today's hearing. We'll have more coverage for you tonight. Your third thing to know today, two police officers who helped rescue a kidnapped girl were honored last night. You might remember our reporting on this case. An International Falls man is facing charges after prosecutors say he took a 7-year-old girl after she got off her school bus. Her disappearance then prompted an Amber Alert. It happened back in January in Zimmerman, Minnesota. Police found the man and girl 9 hours later in Albert Lea. That was about 130 miles away from the bus stop. Two officers then made the rescue by spotting the vehicle and the girl in the back seat. The Albert Lea police chief honored those officers last night. They're Sergeant Alex Kunkel and Patrolman Joshua Knutson.
Why would you choose to do this job is a question I get. It's incidents like these that are the reason why. On that day, these officers didn't just come to work. I truly believe they saved a life. They made a lasting impact on a little girl, her family, and her community. They truly made a difference that day. These officers will forever be part of something bigger than themselves. They didn't just punch a clock that day, they saved a life.
Number 4, today in St. Paul, it was a chance for people with a criminal history to connect with employers who are committed to second chances. It's the 3rd annual Fair Chance Reentry Job Fair. Here's Derek James.
Hey there, it's Derek James. I'm at the Goodwill Easter Seals location in St. Paul, where today they are hosting a job fair with the Minnesota Department of Corrections. Now, this is a job fair for the formerly incarcerated. More than 20 Fair Chance employers are here today, and some are actually ready to hire on the spot. Now, there's a lot of things going on along with the one-on-one resume and interview, coaching, headshots are also available here, along with one-on-one career guidance. Now, this is the third year for this fair, and it's already proving successful. These meaningful second chances are helping those who were incarcerated get back out and restart their lives. That part of the story coming up today on WCCO and streaming on CBS News Minnesota.
Those are the 4 things to know today. Now let's check in on our next weather forecast.
Hi, I'm next weather meteorologist Lisa Meadows. As we head into tonight, temp drops below freezing down to 29. A little bit of light snow overnight heading into tomorrow, with tomorrow's high back up to 42.
And now, here's more to know.
I want to go back to the state capitol for a minute. We're also learning more about bills focusing on taxes, time changes, and technology today. A House committee will look at a bill to stop Minnesota from falling back in November. That's just one of the bills we're following today. There's also a revived bill coming to the House Commerce Committee to ban apps that use artificial intelligence to make someone nude in a photo or video. Then there's a GOP education bill press conference that would align the state with the One Big Beautiful Bill tax law changes. And the House will also look into stopping undocumented immigrants from receiving financial aid from the Office of Higher Education. We are also following a bill to honor former House Speaker Melissa Hortman that's now on its way to the Minnesota Senate floor for a vote. Minnesota's solar energy industry affectionately called Melissa Hortman their solar godmother because she's credited with ushering in the industry with a landmark 2013 law. It was one of her proudest achievements before she was shot and killed in that tragic June attack. Part of that legislation established community solar gardens, and this would rename it the Melissa Hortman Community Solar Garden Program. And more about that program, it increases access to solar energy to more people like renters or individuals who cannot afford solar on their homes. It helps them receive credit on their energy bills. Now, at the time the law passed, community solar was a new concept, but now Minnesota is a top state in the country, and that's due in large part to Hortman. Here's more from State Senator John Hoffman.
This is just one small part of the incredible legacy my kid's sister did on the state of Minnesota. And we all know the best way to honor her memory is to keep doing the work and keep going about on these issues that were important to her. And I think we should also recognize that her impact with this recognition on the community solar program.
There were several people who gave their enthusiastic support for the bill yesterday who work in the clean energy industry. They shared how much the former House Speaker shaped their work. There is also a similar bill that advanced in the House. Over in Minneapolis, since Operation Metro Surge began, local businesses have said they've been struggling. And now a Minneapolis business in a neighborhood known for its nightlife is urgently asking for your support. The owners of Dario say small businesses across the city may not survive after struggling for weeks. Co-owners Stephen Rowe and Joe Rowley say the recent ice surge, combined with the always challenging winter season, has caused a nosedive in reservations. They're asking for customers to come back downtown.
A restaurant can take, one or two bad weeks, but we've all had 8 bad weeks in a row, so we got a lot of digging out to do.
January and February were certainly heavy, and that's because people were spending their restaurant dollars elsewhere in immigrant-owned restaurants in neighborhoods where there was more ICE activity.
That was Mary Binkley with the Neighborhood Association. She says with St. Patrick's Day and Twins games right around the corner, she is confident people will come back. Now to greater Minnesota, we're dealing with a moderate drought in some parts of the state, and there's also rising gas prices. Minnesota farmers are facing a number of challenges a month before spring planting begins. Parts of northern and southern Minnesota are in a moderate drought, and a small part of the state is in a severe drought. Plus, tariffs and trade deals have been in flux, which has impacted the farm economy, especially for soybean farmers. Matt Pafar is an extension educator with the University of Minnesota. He says all of these factors can add to the stress that farmers are already facing.
Energy, when that goes up, fertilizer tends to come up, John, a little bit of that nitrogen input as well. So farmers are thinking right now, where can I make some cuts to my budget? Try and grow this crop as efficiently, cheaply as possible.
Minnesota agricultural leaders say 1,300 farms were lost last year due to rising bankruptcies. There are, however, a number of resources available to farmers, including the University of Minnesota Extension's mental health program. Those are there to help farmers navigate these challenging times. That information is on our website right now, WCCO.com. Now to a potential win for music fans. Live Nation and Ticketmaster settled an antitrust lawsuit with the Justice Department. The lawsuit accused the ticket giant of an illegal monopoly over live events. Under the deal, Live Nation must sell 13 amphitheaters and let competitors play a role in ticket sales. A judge does still have to sign off on the plan. Some states, though, including right here in Minnesota, are not joining the deal and plan to pursue their own lawsuits. In a statement yesterday, Attorney General Keith Ellison says this settlement does very little to actually change the status quo. He did vow to continue the case against Live Nation. Let's talk sports. All eyes right now on the Minnesota Vikings quarterback situation. Yeah, you've heard that for the last 70 years. NFL free agents can officially sign with teams tomorrow at 3, so you may have seen some reported deals come through. Those won't be official until then. But the Vikings have made a couple moves so far on defense. We should get an idea of who they bring in at quarterback alongside J.J. McCarthy tomorrow, though. The talk around town seems to be former number 1 overall pick and Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray. The Cardinals are expected to release him tomorrow, so he'll be a free agent, and the Vikings seem to be the front runner. Lots of talent. He's never really put it all together, though, but maybe if you throw to Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, that could help him out. So that's one to watch for tomorrow. Minnesota Wild back in action tonight in St. Paul, 7 o'clock puck drop versus the Utah Mammoth. And we know Minnesota is the state of hockey. This time of year always proves it. A new attendance record, 140,846 people was set for the Boys State High School hockey tournament. That is a lot of people. Northern Minnesota took home both championships, as we know. Warroad in Class A, Moorhead in Class AA. Timberwolves in LA tonight. They're taking on LeBron James and the Lakers. You're going to have to stay up for this one if you want to catch it. 10 o'clock tip-off. Late one on the West Coast. And if you thought Team USA was done with winning after the Olympics, think again.
2-2. Ground ball up the middle. Terang stabs it, throws. Game over. U.S. hangs on 5-3.
Yeah, that was last night in Houston, Texas. Team USA beat Mexico at the World Baseball Classic. So far, Team USA undefeated in the tournament. Today, they have another pool game against Italy. Now, the final game of this international baseball tournament will be held on March 17th. That will crown the new world champions. The Classic is held every 4 years.
It's time to take a breath with your Daily Bright Spot.
All right, this is a little ridiculous, but if you're a fan of ranch dressing, I am, you should listen up. Do you like to travel too? Well, if you answered yes to both, your dream job. Was that just announced? Hidden Valley Ranch just launched their Ranch Ambassador program to share ranch around the world. The company is looking for duos to travel across the UK and Europe to add ranch to local cuisine. This is a real job. You might not actually believe me, but it has all expenses paid and a salary. You'll be on the job for 8 weeks. Here's what you have to do. You make 4 short videos for social media per week and 1 long-form YouTube video per week. Applications open on March 31st. I can already hear all of our listeners immediately Googling how to get this application in. So make sure to add that cover letter, maybe some letters of recommendation. Yeah, it's a super serious job. Hey, I do like ranch. I'm not sure I'm going to do that. But hey, if you're looking for some extra cash, you get free travel. Why not? Well, I'm Johnny Connor. This has been 4 Things to Know. We're here with the news you need every weekday afternoon by 3 o'clock. Thanks so much for listening today. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Listen to 4 Things to Know, a WCCO daily news podcast, wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Maria Lizignoli, and this podcast comes to you from the WCCO podcast studio.
I'm Johnny Connor, and this is where you'll find the latest news of the day with us on 4 Things to Know.
I'm Mariel Mose, and I bring you the stories behind the female athletes redefining the game on women in sports.
I'm Adam Duxter. Join me for a deep dive into faith and what it means to Minnesotans around the state on Bigger Than Belief.
Stay in the know on the go with the WCCO podcast studio. Go to WCCO.com/podcasts.